talking too big, they sumo. Tell me who the hottest that you know.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 15th NFL season. Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants take on Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Manning. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On 1st down, Manning toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, It helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Carolina getting set to take the field. From his goal line here, Newton. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Manning. It's caught. Shepard. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confident.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Julius Peppers in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. This Carolina D was third in the NFL in sacks last year.
And sometimes that surprises people when they hear that, because who's the dominant pass rusher that you think of putting up double-digit sacks? They do it collectively, as a unit, and get to the quarterback.
Manning to throw on second down. Over the middle to Beckham. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. That's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give them confidence and let them knock it through.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's Newton now on second down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And some space here. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Here's Newton. Got a man. It's the rookie from Maryland, DJ Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's got this one down to the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Sliding out of the pocket. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick. Other than
blitz coming, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run him now out of the gun. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Now Manning. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
An absolute zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet? Oh, I've got the exact play to dial up.
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Unable to corral him, he fights through. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got Bioski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw on 3rd down. Manning. And he'll get that to the rookie, Saquon Barkley. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken what the defense will give him.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Manning. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Trying to punch it in. Stewart. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are in for 6. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Manning now on 3rd and goal. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Rosas puts this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Newton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Newton now to throw. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
And this is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was out.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. And we watch now how effective.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, you're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a one-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Shotgun now for Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Manning throwing on second down. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Handoff to Barkley, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
To throw, it's Manning, and that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Going for the deep ball. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now Manning looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Manning will try again on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And it's incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Again, they'll throw with Manning. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Manning again. To Barkley on the check down. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Nice connection there with Ian Thomas, a rookie out of Indiana. And he's one of those guys that I truly believe his best football is ahead of him. Always has been a consistent blocker. His receiving gets better and better. I thought in 2017 with IU, he was terrific. And now, I think he gives a great addition to the Carolina Panthers passing game.
Now a play fake here on first down. flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A shotgun snap for Newton. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Newton on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
That's rock now.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. From the 50, Newton steps away to his left, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Funchess with a catch over the middle. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Play action. It's Newton. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Dalvin Tomlinson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Newton. Flushed out right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Michael Thomas. Room here to run. A breakaway for Michael Thomas. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Smith catches left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Newton on 1st down. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Hey.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. He dumps it off to Barkley. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, Manning. And Ingram holds it in. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their 1st timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. The Giants on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is third down and 12. From the gun, it's Manning. Able to get away, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Mario Addison in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Riley Dixon now. Time for a break as he's on to punt for New York. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A fourth quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. And the Jaguars have scored again, so they are in the driver's seat big time in that one. Blake Bortles, clearly the story here. 5 touchdown passes thus far. On first down, Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. A big gain of 39 on third. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down. Operating from the gun, Newton. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They go play action here on first down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. On second down, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. From the gun, Newton. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Damon Harrison able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Flush to his right. Escapes the sack. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.